This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
Yes, indeed. We got Fleet and Footy back in studio after a week out at the golf course last week for, of course, the Players' Championship. I'm Stuart Weber, joined by Llerandi, and for the next hour, we're talking some soccer. Is that what we do here?
We're talking some Fleet, and we're talking some Footy, okay?
We very well could go off course. Appreciate anybody who's taking a break from March Madness to come join us here on the show and chat about March Madness. Because in the world of soccer, there also exists a bit of madness that we like to call the U.S. Open Cup. Kicking off this week, and it's been a lot of fun the last couple nights to watch that. We'll certainly get into that here on the show. We got a good show set up for you here on a Thursday. Of course, the show's every Thursday, so it's always on a Thursday. We'll get into the jerseys we're wearing.
Yes.
We both have
it's a little bit different.
Some specific jerseys on for today's show, and I guarantee you, when we go to the Lou Solo cam, we'll get a look at his shoes too. You'll somehow find a way to get that in the shot for us.
Throw the leg up there. We might have.
I'm
flexible enough.
Okay, all right. We're bringing in strange viewers from different places in this world, but we're going to start the show by talking about the academy. Obviously, another good weekend for the boys in blue, the young lads in blue. Were they wearing blue this weekend?
They were. They wore that light blue. Is technically our home kit.
Okay.
MLS Next likes us to have a lighter home kit.
Okay.
But yeah, another you could say successful weekend. The U19s and U17s get the job done, both getting great wins over a strong Miami Football Academy Rush team. Long name. But that's the team that we keep saying that is the other MLS Next non-associated club that has been giving us issues. And so the 19s finally get a win over number one in the standings. And it's a good...
There's those baby blues.
It's a really good push on the way to a very important tournament that we'll talk about.
Yeah, of course. They'll be home again this weekend. I know Section 904... planning to be out there this weekend. They were calling for folks to come on out and come cheer on the Armada Academy. Yeah, it's tough when you go blue versus blue, right? You go with the light blue. Miami comes in with a dark blue. We don't have a white kit, do we?
We don't. The women's team has a white kit. Yeah. They wear that white kit with the black shorts, and it looks so good.
It's slick. But I'm saying like the Academy.
No.
Academy goes
the
light
black.
Blue, dark blue, black.
Your favorite, the black kit.
I mean, it is a really good kit.
Yeah, so this weekend, the boys play West Florida Flames. If you want to come out to Patton Park, first game starts at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
That 12:30 game is probably the one that you might want to come out to. The U19s squad goes and plays West Florida, and at 2:30, the U16s round out the day.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. Not only will I be sleeping when that first match starts, I will also be sleeping when it ends.
I will be probably at Patton Park couple hours before that match kicks off to get everything ready.
What time will you be getting there?
Probably around a 6:30, a 7. If it's an 8 o'clock kickoff, I like to help my boy Corbin Lowe out, set up the tents. We get the water set up, help out any way I can.
You know what? You're just a team player, Big Lou. You're just out there helping these young rising stars be able to achieve the best that they can. Shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
By the way, how have I gone? I've gone 3 minutes into the show without the biggest shout out.
Here we go.
It's Big Lou's birthday.
Hey, let's
go. Happy birthday, Big Lou.
Thank you.
How have the celebrations been thus far?
Celebrations have been good.
What is this, 24?
This is 24.
Welcome.
This is 24. You no longer can compete on the U23s.
Well,
you're now O23.
You know what? I actually got a great little insight from Tommy that there might be a friendly Lewis can appear in later on in the year. That's all I might say. So
okay.
I might achieve that U23 dream. But yes, I am 24.
Are you going to skip that and not send any text to let us know what's happening that day too? Or?
Yeah, we better have that on video.
Just saying,
We'll definitely have it on video.
Just saying. Oh, there's Corbin hopping into the chat. Shout out to Corbin. Join it. It's an emoji, so it's going to show up in like 5 or 10 seconds.
That's fine. I'm sure it's a birthday cake or a Selly emoji.
Okay, yeah. By the way, Section 904 does this great thing where they have these photoshopped images that they send around the group every time it's somebody's birthday. Usually it's like Tony Miola holding a cupcake. Or something like that.
I wonder. I wonder if they
cakes.
can find me. I'm sure there's a picture of me somewhere on the Armada Instagram. They'll Photoshop of me. But yeah, turning the big 2-4. I kind of celebrated a little early.
The big 2-4
the other day.
It's big.
Going out with the family.
Okay.
Tonight, little
Nice.
dinner.
Okay. Good. Did you get to pick?
Yeah, it was mostly my mom's pick. I gotta make mom happy. I'm not too much of a celebratory guy.
But you get the pick of your birthday location.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still good. We're still good. I'm happy with it. We're good.
I don't want to reveal the information, the exact restaurant, because the paparazzi will show
Just
up.
in case.
All the fans will come knocking down the doors. But give me a type of food. What are you getting here tonight?
It's got to be a steak dinner.
Steak dinner.
It's got to be a steak
I like
dinner.
It. I like it, Big Lou. You got style. You got style over there.
I try to have the class. I bring it.
Did you hit Firehouse Subs? You get that free birthday sub?
No, I have not hit
Swing
Firehouse
by there
Subs.
beforehand. I don't know. Might be too close to ruining your appetite for dinner. All right, I completely derailed our conversation here. But shout out, happy birthday to Big Lou.
Thank you.
This guy's working on his birthday, coming in.
I was looking forward to this.
You were looking forward to it. We have a great matchup coming later in the day. Your boys versus my boys, which is why we've got the jerseys on, which we'll get into a little bit later on as international soccer is in action. But let's talk about the Generation Adidas Cup. We detailed the trip out west for the fest that happened earlier in the year, earlier in December, I guess, right?
Yep.
December. A runner-up finish for the Armada youth. And this week, finding out that the U19s, in this case U18s technically, are getting a spot in the Generation Adidas Cup. Lou, for those at home who don't fully grasp the brevity of this, tell me how big of a tournament this is, how big of a deal is this for the Armada Academy?
I mean, when we talk about the biggest and best tournaments in youth football, not just in North America, but globally around the world, I mean, this is it. This is a tournament that's going to be broadcasted on Apple TV, which is it's been the case for the past 3 seasons.
So Messi's getting a cut of these broadcasts, is what you're saying.
I'm sure
part of the
I'm
deal.
sure somewhere,
Yes.
0.00. But yeah, the best clubs from all around the world come to Bradenton, Florida, IMG Academy for a week and compete in a massive tournament across 8 days. I mean, we're talking about teams like Manchester United, Arsenal, Real Madrid,
I've heard of these
Valencia.
teams. Yes.
Some of the past winners, River Plate, Stoke City, Flamengo, Valencia's won it. But this is a huge moment, not only in the Academy's trajectory, but Armada history in general. I mean, we're going to be, once again, on a national stage under the MLS umbrella, which is obviously where we're heading towards in 2026. So it's nice to just solidify yourself as a real contender, not only at the youth level, but eventually when we do get that stadium and the pro team at that pro level.
All right, we got some graphics to go over in relation to this GA Cup.
Yeah, so I mentioned some of those teams. They're slowly getting released on MLS Next social media, so keep your eyes peeled. But
is there going to be a chance for a rematch with Soccer's FC Chicago?
Well,
can we get the rematch? We want the rematch.
You know what? I was looking at some of the other teams that they're announcing, and I almost want that game more than any other one, and I'm sure the boys do as well. The American teams that qualified along with us were Barcelona's Residency Academy, based out of Arizona, Tampa Bay United, a fellow Florida team, and Soccer's FC Chicago, who's that team that we fell to in the MLS Fest final. You've got teams from Mexico like Club America, Oaxaca, Monterrey, Toluca, Santos Laguna. Teams from Japan and Korea, FC Tokyo, Daejeon Hana Citizen.
Slow down, Lou. Slow down,
There you
Lou.
go.
We had to get the graphic up there.
How cool is that to see that logo up against the MLS logo, against the Barcelona logo? I think it's awesome.
It's good company. You like to see your logo on the same graphic here with the Barcelona, with the MLS. And like you said, a lot of these MLS teams will be sending their youth academies to this. It's a good kind of measuring stick as we get ready for MLS Next Pro in the near future.
You get to see a lot of these guys break out in a tournament like this. We saw it firsthand in December. These games are a little bit different. It's a tournament style, so they're 30 minutes.
So here's some of the North American teams you mentioned.
Yep.
Taking place. A lot of Liga MX representation.
You know that Liga MX MLS tie is very strong. They'll be playing. Rumored they will be playing against each other again in the All-Star game.
I'm excited about this next graphic. You mentioned Japan and South Korea. So FC Tokyo, I went to a home game of theirs.
I was waiting for this one.
I went to an FC Tokyo match while I was over there in Japan. So that's really cool to see them on the list here, along with South Korea. A couple teams from the K-League 1.
Exactly. And then you got some of the biggest names in South American football with River Plate of Argentina, Palmeiras of Brazil, Bolivar of Bolivia, the biggest club in Bolivia, and Independiente de Panama, which is also, I would say, one of the top 2 clubs in Panama.
That was a fun one. Say that one again.
Independiente de Panama.
Okay, they got 6 stars on the crest. That's a good sign.
I'm sure that means something, It might be
6 championships in
6
Panama?
6 GA Cup wins, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
But these are just the teams that have been announced so far. I mean, we're still waiting on Europe, which is obviously the nice marquee ticket. So I would expect to see some English teams in there, and a lot of more exciting announcements coming soon. I know the draw is happening currently as we speak. So lots of cool things going on within the MLS Next world, and we're totally excited to be a part of it.
And so that's less than a month from now. How long are you going to be? Are you going down there for that whole deal? I mean, down in Bradenton?
Yeah.
It's like a full week, it looks like.
It is a full week. They'll be staying down there the entire time. I will probably be coming in and out of there, catching the best. But we'll have some correspondence out there. And,
okay. I like it.
And I'm hoping to definitely do a show that Thursday while they're all over there and give you guys some exciting news just to bring back and, something to watch. This will be something that you guys will be able to watch on a very high level stream. So we're totally excited about that.
All right. I like it. I like it a lot. So that's the big news of this week. Generation Adidas Cup and the Armada Academy getting a chance to participate in that prestigious tournament coming up next month in April in Bradenton. So I don't know if they've got supporters groups going down to Bradenton, but have at it. It'll be a good one.
I imagine that there will be a crazy that goes down for a game. It's a very big tournament, so there will be plenty of people watching.
I bet there will. There certainly will. All right, so we move from one cup to another cup. We obviously mentioned off the top of the show, March Madness. It is March, and the madness is just beginning in the U.S. Open Cup. We've already had some cup sets, as they like to say. No relation to the Cup Date, my NASCAR show that airs at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. A cup set is when you have a lower division team beat a higher division team. And the cool thing about this U.S. Open Cup, you get it started with 96 teams from every level of professional soccer in the United States. And they go head-to-head in a one-off bracket competition. No legs, no two-legged ties. This is all, you go out there, we're going to get a winner by the end of this thing, and we're going to move it on from there. Lou, have you been watching a lot of these first couple days? Obviously, the first round happening over the course of this week, Tuesday to, now Friday. One of the games got pushed back a day because of snow. But the first round is usually one of the most exciting ones.
Yeah, you love to see the different pitches around the United States, the different levels.
You'll see some different pitches now.
Yeah, I remember watching one of the games that I watched on, I think Tuesday, had like a huge shed in the background.
Sure.
Where you
store the equipment.
It's definitely cool to see the different levels of soccer. I've been tuning in. I tuned into a couple of the Florida-based games, Miami-Naples. FC Naples, new USL team, gets a win against Sarasota Paradise, which I thought was a pretty big one. LA Galaxy just destroyed Laguna United. Had some beautiful goals. You got to go rewatch that. I think the second goal was fantastic, if I'm not mistaken.
It was. All three of his goals, by the way.
Is that,
that guy scored a hat trick. And the first goal, the second goal of the game, his first, just chest it down, kind of does a turn and a fire and launches into the back of the net. This was really cool. We're seeing video of the supporters group
This is
El Farolito.
I was going to say, this is one of the games that I think a lot of people were looking forward to. El Farolito's got a really cool story, kind of formed out of a burrito shop. They go and they play Real Monarchs, Salt Lake City, Real Salt Lake's 2 team.
Hold on. You went way too fast on that. They were formed out of a what?
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it right, man.
Shop,
from a burrito shop.
I'll have to send you the video, the little documentary about it. It's definitely a really cool thing. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out after the show.
When I said teams from every level, Hamby, I mean it. I absolutely mean it, because you have MLS, you have USL, you have NPSL, you have UPSL. Those are maybe the more formed groups. But then you also have these qualifiers that make their way into it from different local leagues all across the entire United States. Amateur level guys that, maybe it's a group of 30-plus-year-olds that just play together on Saturdays in some amateur league in their city. And they're out there going and getting to play against some of these, sometimes teams full of young rising stars, sometimes teams that maybe have some more gray hairs to them. For example, Des Moines. You showed the video of it right off the top of this, but the Des Moines Menace is one of the coolest stories, right? They're a team that in the U.S. Open Cup, they bring in some ringers. They try to bring in as many former U.S. men's national team players.
Do you want to hear the list?
Give me the list.
Sasha Kleshtin, Benny Feilhaber, Bradley Wright Phillips, Dax McCarty, Matt Hedges, Ozzy Alonso, Cuban legend, AJ De La Garza, Victor Ulloa, and Justin Miram. I mean, that's almost full 11 of former international and MLS guys. So they're not doing anything else. So they say, yeah, I'll come play for this team in the U.S. Open Cup. Why not? And they scored upset. Minor upset, but nonetheless an upset, a 2-1 win last night. I think now they get to host the next game, so I'm sure the city of Des Moines is going to be pumped up for that one.
Yeah, shout out Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Old Des Moines. So the competition continues tonight. I think we have a little graphic with some of the matchups here coming up tonight. There you go. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on, if you're keeping an eye on one, I'm going to say it's Carolina. Much like I was watching the Chattanooga game the other night, because those are the most relatable to the Armada as possible. They're MLS Next Pro unaffiliated teams. Those are the 2 teams in MLS Next Pro that don't have that pipeline of stars coming from a top-tier MLS team. They're forming their own roster and making their own way. So you see it right there, the top right. Carolina Core will be in action at 7:30. But yeah, I mean, we're watching those MLS Next Pro teams and kind of seeing how they stack up against these other leagues from across the country.
Yeah, I would circle that game as my one to watch. I'll definitely be having that on the big screen. Some other ones with some Armada ties, though.
Okay, we like
forward
Armada
Madison striker Derek Gebhard, former Armada.
Okay, that's the Flamingo there, third on the left.
Played Duluth, and then the team from Statesboro, the Tormenta, home of Mason Tunbridge, also former Armada midfielder.
That's right.
Playing.
Hamby, you like some of these logos?
Yeah, they ain't bad. Tormenta, not bad either.
Tormenta, they got a big old pelican on there. Shout out to a giant pelican. We're not going to, well, maybe you'll pull it up at some point, but Hamby, I need you to go do research on the darling of last year's tournament, Sharktopus FC. I'm going to need you to go take a look at their logo.
No, those are some jerseys.
While we continue to talk here about the U.S. Open Cup. But yeah, you get these really cool stories. I mean, you mentioned El Farolito. What was the other great story from last year? There was another one of those type of teams from the independent ranks that goes and wins a couple matches and just shocks the world. And you love to see that because it's fun. It's fun to see these guys playing the game that they love. And look, on any given evening over 90 minutes, one team could go and beat the other one. You can get those kind of big upsets, and certainly had a few of those over the last few years, and a lot of fun to kind of be able to see how that goes. I think Christos might be the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, that's exactly who you're thinking of. Yes, they beat the Chicago Fire a couple years ago and kind of catapulted them up a little bit, gave them a whole boost of money, and really made that club successful and sustainable now.
Yeah, so there you go. There's Sharktopus FC.
That was quick.
Wow.
Look at that logo on the right and on the crest as well for the actual jersey. Is that not rad?
That's next level. I love that.
That's the kind of thing you would see in minor league baseball, right?
100%.
You know, that's probably made by the same company, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I kind of want to go buy a Sharktopus jersey just watching that.
Yeah, I've got some obscure jerseys. One of my favorite ones that I've got with a shark on it is a Providence FC jersey. It's got a hammerhead shark on it.
Okay.
But I might have to acquire one of those Des Moines Menace jerseys with one of the old school MLS boys in the back. I'm thinking of that the Hernandez jersey, excuse me. So should be cool.
So keep an eye on the U.S. Open Cup. More matchups here coming up tonight. Good stuff to keep an eye on that. And yeah, go ahead, Hamby, bring in that video for me. There he is. This is another part of the Cup. Appalachian FC from the NPSL. As you can see, their logo there has Sasquatch on it. And how else would you enter the game if you're Sasquatch than from the forest right next to the stadium?
Boone's really weird. That club has got some great marketing behind that little Sasquatch, and so weird things you see in U.S. Open Cup at this level. It's honestly awesome to see, and these first rounds are definitely my favorite.
All right, good stuff. All right, we're going to take a quick time out here. We've talked a little bit about the U.S. Open Cup and all its glory. We've got a special guest coming on the show next. We're going to talk a little Jacksonville University Dolphins. I know Big Lou's excited about that. We have determined you are the official voice of JU soccer.
It's an honor, it's an honor. I get to watch a lot of JU men's and women's soccer. We've got Coach Moon on. He had a fantastic first season turning around that program and making them have an identity. So I'm really excited to talk to him about his growth.
All right, so Ryan Moon coming up next right here on Fleet and Footy. You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network. People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with we Armada rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is home. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Jacks 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jacks, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget, the Brent and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jacks Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjacks.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
2024 provided plenty of memorable moments for the Jacksonville Armada on the pitch, including another conference championship game appearance for Tommy Krasanovich's under-23 men's team. Debuting this year for the first time, the girls in blue, as the Armada fielded a women's under-23 side in the WPSL and made its presence known with some highlight moments.
Potential goal of the season!
Then attention turned to the future, with MLS Next teams representing the Armada badge in 3 age divisions this fall, including an under-19 squad ranking among the best in the state. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, sponsored by a live credit union.
And welcome back to Fleet and Footy here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. It's a happy birthday edition of the show. Big Lou. Happy birthday, Big Lou.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what better way to celebrate than by talking a little JU Dolphins? Big Lou loves talking about it. So does this guy, Ryan Moon, head coach of the Jacksonville University women's team. Coach, thank you so much for dialing in and taking a couple minutes out from watching March Madness, I'm guessing, right?
Thank you. Yeah, happy to be on here and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course, JU, the Dolphins, Big Lou has been calling those games the last couple of years. So those who've been following the program are familiar with your voice, Lewis. I would hope, yes.
I would say they should be familiar with it. I don't know if they want to be familiar with it. Some of my goal calls can be a little bit over the top when I get excited. I'm sure Moon has rewatched the tape. But it's great to have you on this show. And this was my birthday show, so I wanted to have some JU rep in there.
That's it, man.
Nice. Well, happy that we can do that for you.
Coach, let's talk about this past fall and really how much of a turnaround it was within that program. Anytime you get to a new program, you kind of have to lay some foundation, lay some groundwork down, and you guys were able to really improve as that season went along, end up with 3 conference wins, get to the conference tournament. Bit of a heartbreaker there in that first round of the conference tournament, but nonetheless a great experience for you and the girls to really build off of.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it really helps when you have a group, you come in and the group's hungry to get better and, make a change. And, there was a driven group ready to do that. So it kind of made our jobs easier. And, we came in with a different kind of approach, a different style to how we wanted them to play. So, it was a hard adaptation for them with, being a bit braver in possession and, doing some things they haven't been asked to do before. And so there's usually a little bit of heartache and some difficult moments when you try and do that, which we experienced. And we put a tricky schedule together, especially early on, starting off with Boston College and a few tough games to start the season to test ourselves. And we feel like that really helped us kind of get a foothold for the rest of the season and figure it. We learned a lot in that opening stage there, so it was good. And yeah, we felt like we were a little disappointed at the end, even though we did make some strides. But based on how we played and the chances we created, we felt like we were a little disappointed with where we ended. But overall, happy with the performance, happy with the first year, and in the momentum that we've got going forward now.
Coach, you mentioned it a little bit there. The girls had to go through sort of a change of style, and I could see it on the field from the 2023 season to the 2024 season when you took over. Can you speak more specifically on what that JU specific style is to you?
Yeah, I think it's one of the toughest questions that we get asked, because it's always with a recruit. They always ask, what style of play are you, and all the generic questions that you have to answer. And that's always a tricky one, because we like to think we have a lot of balance in the way we play, but we just try to teach the why. Why are we trying to do something? And then depending on what a team gives us and the scenario a team gives us, we hope that the girls can kind of make strong decisions themselves, rather than us kind of managing from the sideline and moving people around. They know like what they want to do and what they want to achieve in possession. It turns that we do tend to have a lot of the ball. We try to not, be aimless in what we do. We try to do everything with purpose. And if it's going longer, it's with purpose. And if it's shorter, then it's, again, we're doing it not just to pass short, but with the goal and the aim that we want to move up the pitch quickly. We want to be exciting. We want it to be exciting for the players. We want it to be exciting for coaches. We want it to be exciting for the fans that come to the games. And, we think kind of possession-based, high tempo, high press on the defensively is a fun way to play. And we're trying to get there as fast as we can.
Talk to me about the Atlantic Sun and just the high quality of competition that you guys face in that conference and the different teams that you guys have to face. I mean, you came from Florida Tech, and I'm sure you played some of those teams in non-conference play over the years, and now you get that firsthand look of them week in, week out once you get to the oak-shrouded Arlington campus at JU.
Yeah, no, it's it's a really tough conference, and like you said, I was coming from the Sunshine State Conference in Division 2, which is one of the best, if not the best, conference from top to bottom in that division. And it's very similar in this conference. You know, the level of the top team to the bottom team is very close. You know, we've got a great team just across down the road here in Jacksonville as well. So every team brings a little different flavor, a little different style that we have to, you know, be ready to approach when we go into it defensively. But yeah, there's some tough teams. Athleticism is high, and there's it's been exciting though, because you don't get, you know, easy games. Every game's a tough game, 1 goal, 2 goal game, and it's not good for the blood pressure, but it's good for just for excitement.
Coach, there's nothing I love more in college athletics than when a coach references a rival of theirs without saying the name of the school. It's one of my favorite things. That school on the other side of town. Oh, it's always good. Lou?
Well, speaking of those other guys, you had a tough little run out at the end of the season, but honestly, I had a joy watching that ASUN tournament game. Can you speak specifically on that game versus Eastern Kentucky, who was a very good opponent this year?
Yeah, it's kind of the very similar game to regular season as well. We played them here at Southern Oak, and we were winning with, I think it was 2 or 3 minutes to go, and we gave up a goal and ended up tying that game 1-1. So very similar layout to that game with, you know, we were winning up until the last stages of it and gave away a goal late again. Kind of similar to those frustrations I talked about earlier, where we hoped to get more out of some of the results where we played well. But yeah, I mean, they're a great team. They had some good balance to the way they played with some really good individuals. And, you know, it was a tough game for us. We had maxed out a lot of our players. You know, Billy Billicky, who you know from Armada, who actually came into us with torn ACL and played the season with it. And that game was her maximum. She actually had to come out, you know, during that game. You know, we lost Logan Gonzalez in that game, another Armada product, who tore her ACL in that game as well. So we were at a stretch. Girls gave everything to try and hold out with the 1-0, and then we conceded late on, and then obviously penalties is a tough way to go out for anyone.
Yeah, without a doubt. You mentioned the Armada there. When you think about what those girls that compete in the summertime for Goffey were able to accomplish, how big was that for their development to have that opportunity, to have that chance to be able to go out there and get more minutes and maybe see a different brand of soccer and some different opponents to kind of build up that repertoire in their head when they get back on the field for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We encourage them to go and play summer league as much as they can, whether it's here or elsewhere, you know, back home states and those things. But it's you know, getting players in at good programs, and you know, Armada with Goffey is one of those. And you know, it's, you know, they're going to get treated well. You know, they're going to have good training. You know, they're going to stay fit. For them as well, it gets to extend their playing season. You know, our season's so short in college with, you know, 2.5 months ish. So it's a short time to play and then wait around for 9 months for the season to start again. So it just gives them an extra 2 or 3 months during the summer to keep playing with some games with meaning and a league and that side of things. And, you know, it's enjoyable for them. And it's also easier to train that way, you know, when you've got a team and you're being held accountable. You know, a lot of the old methods are to go home and do the packet and train yourself individually. And it's just hard to get, you know, you can stay fit, but it's hard to keep the speed of play and hard to keep that, you know, soccer side up to a high level.
You bring up an interesting point there with how the college schedule works. There's been some rumblings recently about the calendar maybe changing to a fall and a full spring season. What do you think about that?
I mean, personally, I think it would be amazing. I know it's obviously some challenges for different programs with shared facilities or shared staff and those considerations. But just looking at it from a selfish kind of soccer only perspective, it'd be great. It'd be great for us to have a week to prepare for games. Not playing back-to-back games on weekends and putting the players kind of in jeopardy of injury once you pack as many games into 2 months. So if we had a longer period to do that, and then it gives you a little bit longer to periodize your training and kind of work towards that, rather than us having the full schedule and then the spring, which is more of a downtime, individual development. I think for me personally, I would love it, but I know there's a lot of different things out there in the college landscape right now, soccer and all the sports. But for sure, I think that one personally would be a good one.
Coach, I'm going to take you off topic. I want you to talk us through those scarves you got there behind you. We always love displaying our scarves. Lou, you can point to the ones behind you. You got some. There you go. Lou's got some behind him here in the studio. Coach, tell me about it. We got Plymouth, we got Everton, we got a couple scarves on the wall there.
Yeah, we just love following teams towards the bottom end of leagues, I would say. Plymouth's my hometown club, so the team I grew up playing for and supporting locally, fighting at the bottom of the championship right now. But they've had a couple the wins against Brentford and Liverpool, and pushing Man City in the FA Cup has kind of given them a little spur, a little kick on. So hopefully they can get out of the relegation zone. And then Everton's my boyhood club, so used to have a season ticket with my dad there for a couple of years, and driving up from Devon, long drive. But remember the FA Cup in '95 was our last kind of high. It's been a rough ride since then.
It's been Lou wasn't born then. Let's just say that as we celebrate his birthday show here. But I always love getting the stories behind the scarves, because that's always a cool thing, and they all have something. They always usually have a story that comes along with them. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're hoping for a little bit more silverware, hopefully for Lou then. That we can witness.
Yes, come on, Lou.
Well, your girls get started up again here in a week. Can the people come out to that 5 o'clock friendly versus Florida Southern?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually tied in. The men are going to play at 3 as well. So if anyone wants to come out, it's free of charge. The men will play first at 3 o'clock, and then we'll play right after at 5 o'clock. So it should be a good little day.
All right, good stuff. Of course, the spring schedule, these games, they don't technically count, but they count as far as development goes and as far as impressions being made by these players for the man we're talking to right now, head coach Ryan Moon from Jacksonville University. Coach, thank you so much for jumping on the show. We look forward to the fall where Big Lou can go ahead and call some more games. So we're looking forward to that here coming up.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you.
Fins up, baby, fins up.
Yes, he's very excited, is one Louis Llerandi. And as Jason Caveen will pop in the chat, they got a top-tier pitch. We love Southern Oak Stadium. Beautiful place to play the beautiful game.
Just about to say, there's a lot of historical Armada moments that have happened on Southern Oak. So I love calling games there. I love being around there. Beautiful vibe.
Doesn't hurt that, you're a big JU guy as well.
Of course, when they're paying me to do it, it's
you
nice.
got the CBI? CBI, is that what's coming up?
CBI coming up Monday, baby, in Daytona. Be there or be square.
It's in Daytona?
It's in Daytona.
I wasn't sure where it was.
Yeah, it's in like that big little auditorium thing that they have there.
Okay. Well, good luck to the Dolphins, who had a tremendous year on the hard court.
They did.
All right, good stuff. Okay, let's take a quick break. We're going to regroup, and we got a lot more to get to here on the show. We're going to talk some international soccer, including the badges we're repping here on the show today. We'll talk, of course, we got your MLS power rankings. What?
I was just pointing to my star.
Okay, don't be like that. Just because yours has a star on it and mine doesn't.
We'll go into the lore. The star.
Don't be like that. You got your MLS power ranking coming up. We got your weird soccer story of the week. Here's a look at that goal from Jacksonville University. Big thanks to Coach Ryan Moon for joining us here on the program. Boom. And go watch the Dolphins this upcoming season and this weekend. Spring matchup, a little friendly to get the spring season started. That is Ryan Moon from Jacksonville University. Still to come, a lot more Fleet and Footy here in the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Ancla Dorada. The official bear of your Jacksonville Armada.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7. People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
There it is, the Nations League roster, Team USA, getting ready for the semifinals, Big Lou.
Semifinals of the Nations League. People don't like this tournament. I think it's better than having random friendlies, so at least there's something to look forward to there. Maybe what you're looking at right now and what you're noticing, there's a lot of MLS guys, maybe more MLS guys than you would have thought at a break where you can take all the European guys. People thought Pochettino maybe would not look at those MLS guys the same. A lot of the Euro snobs don't like to look down at MLS, but he's not. He knows the talent that this top 10 league has. You got guys like Zach Steffen, who's been standing on his head for Colorado. Old guys like Tim Ream.
It's such a weird expression.
New guys like Diego Luna.
You're in a much better position to block a goal from the goalkeeper position if you're standing on your feet and not your head. I don't know.
It works out on the head too.
Saying.
Patrick Agyemang, the big new forward for the States, looking to make his mark once again. And Brian White, maybe the surprise of them all, who's been having a scorching start to the season for the Vancouver Whitecaps. Hopefully he's going to get his 4th cap for the boys in red, white, and blue. Yeah, I'm excited about this game. They play Panama to start out their conquest, and they have won the Nations League, I want to say the last 2 times. I may be wrong about that.
Tells you how prestigious it is that you're randomly guessing whether or not they won the thing.
But it's always exciting, and it's a new look U.S. men's national team. I've been a lot more engaged now with this new head coach, watching to see what he wants to do. And here's one of the problems he's got to deal with is who's going to be his striker. It's kind of been the issue for the last couple of years for the United States. You got some options there. You got Josh Sargent, Patrick Agyemang, and like the aforementioned, like I said, Brian White. So what do you think, Stuart? What do you think about this team?
Solid. I like the coach. Coach has been in the media a lot lately, right? He's been answering a lot of questions, and a lot of people are still wondering: is this going to work? Is this foreign mindset going to come in here and overhaul this entire system of U.S. men's national team soccer? I'm trying to pull up the exact quote right here. Here's a quote. Quote, "We want to destroy Panama. We want to destroy the next one, and we want to win, but destroy." Quickly clarifying, when I say we destroy, it's in a sporting way. But, hey, you need that cutthroat mentality, and you need a coach who's going to instill that in his players, because you got to make these games mean something to these guys, right? You would think that just having the crest on your chest would be enough, but sometimes, you got to add a little extra juice, and I'm glad to see coaches trying to fire the guys up a little bit.
Yeah, trying to bring some of that Argentinian mentality into the States.
I'm just saying. I
very passionate. The Argentinians,
yes.
Very passionate.
Yes. By the way, we do have a graphic for this. The AO Watch Party. If you want to go and check out this matchup as the U.S. men's national team gets set to take on Panama, you can do so. You can go join your fellow red, white, and blue fans. There you go. Coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. Big Lou, will you be there?
I will be at birthday dinner, but...
So birthday dinner not at Ruby Beach?
Unfortunately not. But I do know a cool thing that's happening with this watch party is that it will be happening upstairs and taking place on the projector. So that's a cool little twist in the tale. Obviously, if you go, pick up some Ancla Dorada on tap and in cans. So
we've held quite a few events there over the years now, the last couple of years. And the upstairs space is a really cool one. So that's good that they're going to be holding that watch party up there. So go check out the U.S. men's national team taking on Panama tonight. Speaking of today, we're officially 1 hour from kickoff.
I was about to say, this is happening pretty soon.
We are 1 hour from kickoff. You might notice we're both repping. We're repping our ancestral homes, ancestral countries.
Yep.
And tonight they're facing off. All right, there you go.
Is this the shoe shot? You want me to bring up the shoe or what?
I mean, yeah, let's.
I mean, I have to.
You've got your Spain jersey on, and you've got that's the bottom. You've got a matching Spain shoe.
God,
there it is.
My leg looks really long in that camera. I promise you, I'm not that tall. I am that tall.
You don't let them know how tall you are. That's the benefit of broadcasting.
And Stuart.
Hey, I get a solo camera too?
Now, I was expecting the orange, but I do got to say, I remember this kit when it dropped, and I did like the blue.
Shout out to the Dutch. I generally like the blue. I mean, yes, everybody knows about the bright orange. They're Oranje. For those who don't know why a country whose flag has red, white, and blue in it would wear orange.
Is that Iniesta?
That is. That's when I fell in love with football, Hamby, right
70?
there. You know what? He actually just recently
it's a
retired.
Picture from 2010.
He's like 42.
We're throwing some.
This is 2014.
We got some throwback.
The next World Cup, the Netherlands get their revenge. That Van Persie header, I'll never forget.
Good. Yeah, happy that you don't forget.
And the new boys. You see Julian Timber there, Van Dijk. Nice call out, Hamby. Nice call out. And then some of the, like I like to call them, the star boys, Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal.
Fun fact, that's from a song, if you didn't know.
The new age
remember that.
generation of Spain. So
Robin still in there?
Arjen Robben is he's not in the 11.
Van Persie?
No, we're pulling names from the Wayback
This is
Machine.
2014 FIFA.
Yeah, we're pulling names from the Wayback Machine.
What was the De Vrij? De Vrij?
De Vrij, that's a good shout.
I like that you're getting some good Dutch pronunciation.
Depay? Memphis
Depay, still around.
He is still
around. As long as you're getting the good Dutch names in there, I'm happy.
You've missed some world beaters for Spain. Xavi, Iniesta, Fernando Torres, who I share a birthday with. Happy birthday, Fernando. Feliz cumpleaños. I know you're watching.
I'm sure he is. Yes, he's locked in the Fleet and Footy.
There's some legend on the team. David Villa, Capdevilla, Puyol, Casillas. I could go on and on.
You just like saying words. All right, so tonight, the two teams, actually an hour from now, facing off in the UEFA Nations League.
Yes.
And this is semifinals, right?
Quarterfinals for them.
Down to 8?
Yep.
Okay, so quarterfinals. 2 legs, starting with a birthday bash, Spain versus the Netherlands.
International break. Predictions?
Pain.
3-1 Spain.
Ooh.
Lamine Yamal goal and an assist.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up where this one is at.
I think it's in the Netherlands.
And you're saying 3-1 Spain?
We're hot right now. Oh, the young guys are hot. They're doing good. They're doing good.
Okay. I mean, you say what you want. It's in Rotterdam.
That's what I thought. Yeah, away game.
Rotterdam. I'm clearly taking the Dutch.
All right. What's the scoreline?
Well, I'm looking at their last head-to-head games. You got a 1-1 friendly. You've got a Dutch 2-0 win, a Dutch 5-1 win. You remember that in 2014? A 1-0 Spain win. Okay, I'm going to take the Dutch. I'll take a 2-1. 2-1.
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Hamby, can I get your prediction?
My what?
Your prediction?
That's short for prediction, apparently, because we needed to shorten that word for some reason.
Those were the only two teams that I'd ever play with in FIFA 2014.
Understand.
Were Spain and
smart man.
Netherlands.
Yeah.
I'll take the home team this time.
Oh. Okay. All right.
1-0.
Can't even get it on for my birthday. Couldn't even get it for my birthday.
It's 2 legs. You'll be all right. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk some MLS, shall we? As we do each and every week here on Fleet and Footy, we like to bring you our Big Lou Power Rankings. You want the rankings first or the takeaways?
We can do the rankings.
All right, let's start with your Week 4, Louis Llerandi.
Or the takeaways. We can start with the takeaways.
We'll start with the takeaways.
The MLS champs are still winless. If you can believe it or not, the LA Galaxy, who kind of had a hard time rebuilding their roster, but they kept a bulk of their squad. They've been having some injury troubles.
Maybe they should go get some of those MLS Next Pro guys who put up a 7 spot.
Right.
Just saying.
And they have gotten 2 draws in the bounce, but still winless, waiting for a win in MLS. San Diego are the real deal, okay? This is an expansion side, so always a little bit wary of expansion sides. You never know how they're going to turn out.
They got in trouble in the news, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
They were chanting. They were saying
some naughty things.
Don't do that, boys.
But
girls.
Chucky Lozano is injured for them now. Their star players are a bunch of Danish guys, so they're all stepping up. Really nice for them. Miami's roster is deep. They get it done again without having to do too much to Atlanta. They score really late off of a Fafa Pico header.
Who else scored in that match?
Lionel Messi had a fantastic chip over Brad Guzan to get his first pass, the bald man, behind the sticks.
Did they feel any sort of redemption from a year ago?
You could definitely see that there was a little bit more of a hype awareness to the game. Atlanta falls again. They kind of just need to figure out their attack, but once they do, man, they're going to be firing at all cylinders. Mentioned it earlier because of that inclusion within the CONCACAF Nations League roster. Zach Steffen's a brick wall. He's probably single-handedly saving Colorado from losing a lot of these games. They'd pick up a 2-1 win over the weekend. And the injuries keep piling up for Seattle. The front 4 that I already had doubts about are now getting injured. So Seattle's going to have to find and look somewhere else for their goal-scoring opportunities.
I also had doubts about them.
I'm sure you did. And that goes into our power rankings. Miami stays at the top.
We got big movement in the power rankings this week, Lou. You took some swings.
Yeah, I think you're going to see these power rankings move a lot anyways. MLS is one of those leagues where anything can kind of happen. Teams change from year to year so much. Vancouver Whitecaps, who I was not sold on, I'm bought in now. Brian White leading the way for them, and a bunch of youngsters really stepping up to get them a lot of wins. I'm pretty sure they're still undefeated. Philly Union doesn't have a great weekend, but their attack has been unstoppable the past 3 games, so I think they'll be fine. San Diego, I've been teetering them in and out of the rankings, and now they've made their way back in fully.
Stadium.
It's always fun to talk about, an inaugural team, first franchise team. Charlotte had a great win. I really like what they're doing. They really need to figure out how to score more consistently, though. Cincinnati needs that striker that they got from Belgium to start turning it on. LAFC has been slow, as well as Columbus, both teams losing some crucial players over the offseason. Minnesota United has been one of my surprises, as well as St. Louis. Those Midwestern teams doing all right themselves.
Fun fact, everybody in the MLS has at least 1 point. So nobody is over.
It feels like some of those teams are. Montreal has been having a worldy Yeah, a couple of those teams have not been having a good
And
time.
only Vancouver is unbeaten, untied.
There you go. See, I knew. I'm just still not full. I can't put them in the number 1 spot yet because their roster is just not as good as that Inter Miami roster. It's just not.
All right. Western Conference, Eastern Conference, the MLS, Major League Soccer with Big Lou's power rankings. Excited to see where this lands next week.
All right, it's well, I guess we'll have off
next week.
International break. So there won't be.
There
won't be any
MLS
movement.
There won't be any we're not off.
No,
we got a show.
Hey, I'm never off. I'm never off. I'm never off. Not even
on your birthday.
Come on.
That's a worker. That's what I like to see in this guy. It's a real worker. Shout out Big Lou. Okay, that leaves us with the last thing to get to here on Fleet and Footy. It's everybody's favorite part of the show. It's the weird soccer story of the week.
I'm still working on the jingle, guys.
You said that for a month now.
I know. No. This is the 3rd week, but I'm getting it done. This one comes out of the top flight of Bulgaria. So this isn't...
How many flights are in Bulgaria?
You know what? I don't really know.
How many flights are into Bulgaria? How does...
Probably not a lot. The teams that played in this specific match were Arda Kardzali
One more
and
time?
Levski Sofia.
First one again?
Arda Kardzali
Okay.
and Levski Sofia. This happened this past Sunday. These teams were holding a minute of silence to honor former player Petko Gonchev, who had recently passed away. Or so the club thought. So
what?
Right now you're watching the minute silence that happened during the game.
Yeah, they look pretty silent.
After the game, it would come out that Petko was in fact still alive. He is still kicking. He's 78 years old. And apparently some bad news got to the club, and they announced this in front of everyone, saying that my boy Gonchev was dead, but he's alive and kicking. He's doing good.
Did they make an announcement like later in the game?
No, they made an announcement like a couple days later, like an official announcement, saying they received wrong information about his death. The management of PFC Arda would like to express a huge apology to former Arda player Petko Gonchev and his relatives after the club received wrong information about his death. We wish Petko Gonchev many more years of good health and to enjoy the success of Arda. The game was tied 1-1.
Of course it was. Well, that's weird.
There's something weird happening all over the world in soccer.
That's not a mistake that you make. You can't make that one. I mean, if you're gonna go to the lengths of a minute long moment of silence,
and it blew up a little on on Twitter. I mean, I, as a PA announcer, as someone who's done plenty of PA announcing for tons of different sports, this is like my nightmare. I've had to read some pretty serious things, whether that be at a halftime or during a broadcast, but never anything like that to where I was completely wrong about something.
You've just had to do like weather delays. What are you talking about?
I've had to do some pretty
some serious
stuff. Yeah. Recently, during the hurricane, I did some Red Cross stuff on a couple broadcasts.
Okay.
Some memoriam stuff.
I'm saying you had
broadcasts.
so you had some news reads you had to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get you there. There it is. Hey, did you find that on social media?
Wow.
That's tremendous. Next match.
Look at the font. That
is definitely a font. No mention of the guy.
No mention of Petko, but Petko, I know Petko's listening to this one. Petko, if you want to hop on the show, you can and tell us about why that news may have gotten out. Please let us know.
I'm sure he can dial into the show, no problem, from Bulgaria. All right, well, that's good. Good stuff. Good weird soccer story of the week. Lou, you always find the good stuff. I don't know how your Bulgarian correspondent sent that one to you and let you know what was going on, but I appreciate it. For everybody at home, appreciate everyone tuning in for Fleet and Footy. Go back to your March Madness. I think I'm 0-2 to start. Love that. Shout out. College basketball, unpredictable, brackets everywhere, having a good time. Of course, we'll have those highlights for you later on Action Sports Jacks. Marcel Robinson doing the shows tonight. And U.S. Open Cup tonight. So everybody, go watch. I think the best way you could support the Cup is by watching some of these lower level teams pick a random small team. Could be Sharktopus FC, and they're not in it this year, but go cheer for them. And in an hour, less than an hour, go cheer for the Dutch to get a win over Spain.
And go to Ruby Beach at 7 o'clock.
Ruby Beach, 7 o'clock, and then meet Lou at the steakhouse for dinner. Thanks so much for watching Fleet and Footy. Happy birthday, Big Lou!
Thank you,
for
Stuart.
watching. Have a good one on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network.